evening, excellent biology students. Hope you are doing fine, and I hope you had a good day. So please let me know if I'm audible enough before I start. Good evening, Shi Chamwadoris. Wiza, good evening. Roida, Precious, Felicitas, JRTV. Okay, wonderful. I'm audible. Wonderful, wonderful. So let me know if I'm audible enough. All right. Okay. So it looks like I'm audible, which is wonderful. Okay. So I was supposed to have a live class under locomotion last week, but I didn't. So that's what we're going to cover in tonight's live class. So I hope everything is clear on your end. I hope I'm audible enough. I hope the network is proper on your end. And I hope this live class is going to be a success. Otherwise, good evening. I hope you had a wonderful day. So can I start? Because really we are already, this is 21:30, so I should be done by 22:10 somewhere there. So can I start? Someone to give me a go ahead if I can start. Okay. So we are only remaining with approximately 30 something days, if not 32. We're remaining with 32 days. Yeah. We are remaining with 32 days. So before you write, 32 days to go. Okay. There are 32 days to go. And of which in these are 32 days, you can do something. So like I usually say, like I usually preach in the group, watch the tutorial videos, study the notes. Watch the tutorial videos and study the notes. Watch the tutorial videos and study the notes. Those are the things that you have to do. As long as you're in the online biology group, you have to watch the tutorial videos and study the notes. That's what will help you. The group is when the group is open and you've got questions, please feel free to ask. Sir, here I didn't understand, and I'm going to help you. I'll respond to your questions. Otherwise, watch the videos and study the notes. Okay? Yeah. So in today's live class, I have a question of which this was a question for last week. I'm sure it will be a walkover for most of us. This question is based on locomotion. Locomotion is one of the big topics. Okay. So to begin this live class, I'll start with a question. What is locomotion? Let's be quick with commenting our answers. Who can define locomotion? What is locomotion? What is locomotion? What is locomotion? Someone to define locomotion. What is locomotion? I'm sure you're typing your answers right now. What is locomotion? Anyone? Anyone? No one knows what locomotion is? Come on, guys. I'm sure we know. Someone to define locomotion. What is locomotion? Okay. All right. We've got an answer from Lily. So locomotion. Locomotion is the movement of an organism from one place to another. Wonderful, wonderful. Who else? Felicitas. Locomotion is the movement of an entire organism from one place to another. One more definition. Okay. Innocent. Locomotion is the movement of an entire organism from one place to another. Excellent. So yes, locomotion is simply the movement of an entire organism from one place to another. Okay. So the entire body is moving in this case. The entire body is moving. So right now where you're seated, if you move, you change your location, you move to another location, you've locomoted. Okay. If you move, you go to another location, that movement, that change of location is what we call locomotion. So locomotion is the movement of an entire organism from one place to another. There's another one here from Atris. It's the movement of an entire organism from one place to another, which is correct. Locomotion is simply the movement of an entire organism from one place to another. Simple definition. That is locomotion. Now, here's my next question. What makes it possible for living organisms to locomote? What makes it possible for living organisms to locomote? In other words, what do we have as organisms or as animals, to be specific, human beings? What do we have as human beings which makes it possible for us to locomote? What do we have as human beings which makes it possible for us to locomote? What do you think? What makes it possible for you to locomote, my excellent student? What makes it possible for you to locomote? What makes it possible for you to change your location from where you are to another location? What makes it possible? Okay, we've got answers. What makes it possible? Skeletons, excellent. Atlas, muscles and skeletons. Okay, Lily, the skeletons. Okay, so the entire topic of locomotion, it's all about skeletons, muscles, and skeletons, muscles, and joints. When you know about these three things, you are good with the topic: skeletons, muscles, and joints. Okay, so skeletons and muscles are what makes it possible for you and I to locomote. Without the skeleton, you cannot locomote. Without muscles, you cannot locomote. So these two, they are needed. Skeletons and muscles, they are needed for you and I to locomote, for you and I to change our location. We need the muscles and the skeletons. That's what makes it possible for living organisms like you and I to locomote. Now, what is a skeleton, my excellent student? What is a skeleton? These are just questions to see if you still remember locomotion. What is a skeleton? What is a skeleton? Yes, what is a skeleton, my excellent students? We've all agreed that for us to locomote as animals or as organisms, we need muscles and we need a skeleton. So my question is, what is the skeleton? Mm-hmm. And as you are watching, please, you can like this video. Okay, like the video, because this live is actually public, meaning it's visible for anyone. Okay, so you can leave a like so that YouTube can keep it rolling for others to see who can be interested in videos related to this live class. So we appreciate if you leave a like for this video. Okay, so what is a skeleton? Felicitas, a skeleton, she's saying, it is any firm structure that gives mechanical support and provides protection to the softer parts of the body. I love this definition. So a skeleton does many things. Number one, like according to this definition, number one, it provides mechanical support. There is need for mechanical support. For you to locomote, there is need for mechanical support. Number two, it provides protection. What does it protect? The skeleton protects delicate internal body organs like the heart, the lungs. These are delicate internal organs which are protected by the skeleton, the rib cage, okay? The kidneys, they are delicate internal organs. These delicate internal organs, they are protected by the skeleton. So the skeleton provides protection. The brain, it's a delicate internal organ and it is protected by the skeleton. Okay. Eyes, these are delicate and they are protected by the skeleton. So the skeleton also provides protection to the delicate body organs. So I really love this definition. Other definitions, let's read. Grace, what is Grace saying? A skeleton is a framework that provides mechanic support for the body. Okay. Another one from Lily, a skeleton is any firm structure that gives mechanical support to the body and provides protection to the softer parts of the body. Excellent, excellent. Loveness, what is Loveness saying? It is any firm structure that gives mechanical support to the body. Excellent. With another one from Roida. What is Roida saying? Skeleton, let me just put it back. Just a minute. Okay. A skeleton is any firm structure that gives mechanical support to the body and provides protection to the softer parts of the body. Excellent. That's what a skeleton does. It provides protection, okay, to the softer parts of the body, and it also provides mechanical support. Now, there are types of skeletons that we need to know. Okay. There are types of skeletons, of which there are three. What are the three types of skeletons, my excellent student? Before we start answering this question, that is my final question, okay? Before we start answering the question which you are seeing, okay? So what are the three types of skeletons that are there? Mention three types of skeletons. Like, see now the definition for the skeleton, she's saying that a skeleton is a structure that provides mechanical support, provides protection to the softer parts of the body, which is true. That is excellent. So yeah, what are the three types of skeletons, my excellent students? What are the three types of skeletons? What are the three types of skeletons? Okay, we've got answers coming in. We've got answers coming in. Address is saying we've got hydrostatic, exoskeleton, and endoskeleton. Okay. And then we've got innocent, endoskeleton, exoskeleton, and hydrostatic skeleton. Blessings. Blessings is saying, just put up answer. Blessings is saying exoskeleton. Okay. Kalaluka. exoskeleton, endoskeleton, and hydrostatic skeleton. Okay, we've got another one from Loveness. What is Loveness saying? My network is a little bit slow, but I hope I'm still audible. Okay, Loveness is saying exoskeleton, endoskeleton, and hydrostatic skeleton. Before I continue, please let me know if I'm still audible and if everything is clear on your end. Okay, I do not want anyone to be left behind. So please let me know if I'm audible. Please let me know if I am audible enough. Okay, audible enough. Wonderful. Okay, we can continue. So yeah, those are the three types of skeletons that are there. We've got the endoskeleton, exoskeleton, and hydrostatic skeleton. Now let's answer the question that we have in tonight's live class. Okay, so the figure below shows the muscles in a bent limb in a grasshopper. Question A. Before we look at question A, let's look at what we have. So we've got muscle R and muscle S, and then we've got chitin. Chitin is just the material of this type of skeleton, okay, that we have in our figure. So we've got muscle R and muscle S, and then they're indicating a material which makes up this skeleton. Okay. Question A. Identify muscle R and S. Identify muscle R and S. What is muscle R and what is muscle S, my excellent students? What is muscle R and what is muscle S? Okay. We've got an answer. Actress is saying R is the extensor. R is the extensor, and then S is the flexor. Okay. R extensor, S flexor. Wonderful. What do others say? What is muscle R and what is muscle S? Sylvia, R extensor muscle, S flexor muscle. Okay. R extensor muscle, S flexor muscle. Okay. What do others say? Sharon, extensor and flexor. So Sharon, you have to indicate which one is the extensor and which one is the flexor. You have to indicate as you are answering your questions, which one is the flexor, which one is the extensor. You have to indicate. Innocent, muscle R, extensor muscle, muscle S, flexor muscle. Okay. Loveness, muscle R, extensor, and S, flexor. Okay. Rachel is answering the first question, the last question I had asked, which is the types of skeleton. She's saying exoskeleton, hydrostatic, skeleton. Okay, which are correct. Roida, muscle R, extensor muscle, and I think you meant S, which is flexor muscle. Okay. Then we've got Felistas. Felistas is saying R, extensor, then S, flexor. Okay. Then Blessings, R, extensor muscle, S, flexor muscle. Of which your answers are correct. Indeed, R is the extensor muscle, and then S is a flexor muscle. Okay, R is the extensor muscle, then S is the flexor muscle. Now, let's understand these two types of muscles, extensor and flexor. What is an extensor muscle? What is an extensor muscle? Okay, what is an extensor muscle? What is an extensor muscle? Anyone to define what an extensor muscle is? What is an extensor muscle? What is an extensor muscle? Okay, so extensor muscle, Innocent is saying that an extensor muscle is a muscle that contracts to straighten. Okay, to straighten what exactly? So you have to define it in full. Okay, but good try, good try, Rachel. So Rachel is saying that R is extensor muscle and S is a flexor muscle. Okay. Now I'm asking the question, which is, what is an extensor muscle? What is an extensor muscle? Address, it's a muscle that contracts, extending of the joint when it contracts. Or it's a muscle that causes extending of the joint when it contracts. I think this is the best definition that I've received so far, of which that's correct. An extensor muscle causes a joint to straighten when it contracts. Okay, so once an extensor muscle contracts, it will cause a joint to straighten. So an extensor muscle is one that causes a joint to straighten when it contracts. So if you look at your hand right now, okay, or your arm, your hand, your whole hand, a muscle that is going to cause your hand, the joint on your hand, to straighten is the one which is known as an extensor muscle, which in this case, that's the the tricep, actually, the tricep. The triceps are the extensor muscles because they are going to cause your arm to straighten. Okay, triceps are extensor muscles. So an extensor muscle is the one which will cause a joint to straighten when it contracts. I hope we are clear with the definition. Let's look at the definition for Lily. Lily is saying that an extensor muscle is any muscle that causes extension or strengthening of the body part of the joint, which is true. Which is true. Kalaluka, what is Kalaluka saying? Extensor muscles. This is the muscle that contracts when the elbow joint straightens. Okay. That is also correct. That is also correct. So an extensor muscle is one that is going to cause a joint to straighten when it contracts. What of flexor muscle? What is a flexor muscle? What is a flexor muscle? What is a flexor muscle? Atlas, Atlas is saying it's a muscle that causes bending of the joint when it contracts. It's a muscle that causes bending of the joint when it contracts, which is true. Okay. Others, flexor muscle. Others, what do you think? I want you to participate. Trust me, you will never forget something that you've answered on a live class. If you're participating, if you're active on live classes, you will never forget the things that you're answering. What is a flexor muscle? Okay, Felicitas, flexor muscle is the muscle that causes bending of the joint when it contracts. Okay, Trisha, an extensor muscle, it increases the angle between body part of the joints. Okay, now what of flexor? Trisha, what of flexor? Kalaluka, check mine, sir. Okay, I've seen it. Extensor muscles, this is the muscle that contracts when the elbow joint straightens. Excellent. Or you can say it does not contract when the elbow joint straightens, no, but it causes the elbow joint to straighten. It is not contracting because the elbow joint has straightened, but it is contracting to cause an elbow joint to straighten. I hope you can differentiate between those two statements. Okay. Sarah, flexor muscle is a muscle that allows you to bend your hand or your joint. Okay, so instead of using hand, use joint. Okay, so yeah, we are correct. Flexor muscles, they will cause a joint to bend. Extensor muscles will cause a joint to straighten. Simple. That's the difference between a flexor muscle and an extensor muscle. And in our figure, R is the extensor muscle, S is the flexor muscle. Let's move on to question B. In order to straighten the limb, what happens to muscle R and S? In order to straighten the limb, what happens to muscle R and S? Yes? What do you think? What happens to muscle R and S? So Loveness is saying, Loveness is asking, why are people saying when it contracts instead of when it relaxes? Okay, so Loveness, your hand, right? Your hand right now, when you look at your hand, you've got two muscles, the ones that we call biceps and triceps. So biceps, they're on the front part of your hand. Biceps, they're on the bottom part of your hand. Okay. So these two muscles, they are, one is a flexor muscle and the other one is an extensor muscle. So a flexor muscle is a bicep, and then an extensor is a tricep. So for your hand to bend, your bicep has to contract. That is why we're saying that flexor muscles to bend when they contract. Extensor muscles, they will cause a joint to straighten when they contract. Okay? So for the extensor muscles, when they contract, they will cause a joint to extend, to straighten. When they contract, they will cause a joint to bend. Okay? That's what you need to know. So, your hand, the